live. Hey, everybody on Instagram. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Y'all don't understand how happy I am to be here. I know there's not going to be very many people on Instagram on here at first, but I'm still happy to do the broadcast just for the sake of consistency and branding. I really do believe in branding very much. I believe if you're going to put yourself out there, you should be uh, prepared. Y'all, this is still a thing. My nails are not done because I just haven't made it to the nail salon. So when I start waving my hands and you see these 3 colored nails and these 2 natural nails, just let it slide. Y'all are going to see a lot of stupid things from me on this platform, okay? Just let it slide because everything else I have to say to you is going to be very purposeful and meaningful, okay? So just let me be human. Let me do my thing, and I promise you're going to enjoy it, okay? Good morning, Tony Screen. Thank you for always showing up. You are definitely a loyal follower, and I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I think you turned 54, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, is it 56? Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. I'm sorry. But again, thank you for being here. So today, I was in my feelings this morning, you guys. I did a lot of posting this morning because I'm telling you, I could not take all the woman bashing and nonsense that was going on my timeline this morning. I was like, oh, I had to talk about it. And I know a few people, it resonated. So I had a few people, just kind of reach out and say how much they understood where I was coming from. And I appreciated that too. But where this is coming from, you guys, is I'm a woman who has been spending a lot of time getting to a place of healing and trying to keep my vibration high, trying to spread and share my light, trying to really live as an example of what I've been taught is the right way to live in my life. Do you understand? So it really bothers me when I recognize that my sisters are also on this journey, which is evident. The glow up trend didn't come from nowhere. It's because we're all doing this. We're all recognizing our greatness, and we're all coming to a place where we're not necessarily allowing ourselves to hold ourselves back. And I think that is absolutely to be celebrated, and it should be nurtured. And what I mean by that is when you see your sister and she's struggling, a lot of men right now are doing their best to make light of that and to what you would normally call woman bashing. And I just can't take it. I'm just like, why are you doing that? Why is that necessary for you to bash the woman when she's down? And a lot of men will tell you that they want a woman who won't do that to them. But you see how sometimes self-hatred comes into play and you're not able to really see the error in your ways because of your ego. You think that everything should be the way you want it to be. Everybody should act the way you want them to act. So in essence, nothing else matters. It's just what you want and that's it. So it's imperative for us, if we're going to grow in our relationships, to be able to stop for a second and say, listen, even though I have a gripe against you, I'm not going to kick you when you're down. I'm going to try my best to get over myself and support you instead of being an addition to your problems. If you have a woman who is obviously in a place where she's not able to meet your expectations as whatever you think a woman should be doing. If you think she should be raising your children a certain way and she's not. If you think she should be dressing a certain way and she's not. If you think she should be speaking a certain way and she's not. She's eating a certain way and you think she should, it's something different. A woman, we have flaws, okay? Even though we walk around and we try to act like we're perfect and we're all Miss Prissy and we're all tucked away and put together and our makeup is flawless and we're You know what I'm saying? We all all day. We all day. We want to give it to you. We want to be perfect. And a lot of times a woman, if she's not mature enough, she will assert that. She will be in the space where, you know what, I am right all the time and I dare you to challenge me. Sometimes women are like that. But it just simply means that you are dealing with a certain type of woman. And so, again, you have to come to a place where you can observe that woman and allow her to learn. Allow her to learn the error in her ways. You understand? Because when you start to bash her and you start to talk about all the things that she's doing wrong and all the things that you would appreciate for her to do better and so on and so forth, what you're really doing is telling her that she's not enough or that you're unsatisfied or unhappy with who she is right now. And so, honestly, you guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm preaching to myself right now because I've had a long habit of being that girl who would expect things from other people that I was not necessarily ready or willing to give myself. And so again, these things, they come to light when you start to self-reflect. But the issue is that I've started to observe is that a lot of men in particular, women do this all the time, but men in particular do not self-reflect. And they don't have a sense of self in a relationship because they're not reflecting upon not only who they are, but who they want the woman to be. They're not reflecting about any of that. So what happens is because a woman is not able to learn you and she's not able to make a proper assessment is what I'm going to say. Because many times the objective of a woman is to know you in such a way that she can improve you. That's her ultimate goal. I guarantee it. There's no there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You understand? Hey, what's up, Profound Thought? Thank you for coming. But there's no way around that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm telling you 100%. She wants to observe you and get to know you so that she can help. She wants to be an asset to your life. Women, like I said, we want to be perfect, even though we're not. So our objectives are still high. We're still reaching for the stars. Like, I really want to be like everything you need. I really want for there to be a communication here where you can tell me when something needs to be improved or something needs to happen or change in order to suit you better. Because what we understand is that a relationship is two ways. It's a two-way street. We understand that both parties need to be pleased, but see, the point that I was making today, I made a small point about it today, is that our men in the African American community have a tendency to fall victim to so much of the what do you call social conditioning, propaganda, certain expectations that our men come with that just reek of westernized, colonized thinking, colonized perception. Just the way that they approach the situation. It's just like, where did you get that concept of women from? And if we can get that under control, then we can interact with each other. Because half of the men that interact, like, for example, me, I'm a woman of substance. I know how to speak. I know how to articulate myself. I'm very into culture and arts and politics and science and technology. I'm into esoteric type of things. I love spirituality. And, music is in me. So much about me that is in my life, and a man will approach me and ask me for naked pictures of my body when he just met me. You understand what I'm saying? All of the things that you could ask me, all of the things that you could want to see from my life, but you want to see my vagina? Why? You've seen so many other vaginas. I don't want to show you mine. But let me say I don't want to show my vagina. And what kind of response will I get? What you mean? I have had men tell me, quit being stingy. Do you hear me what I said into this very nice microphone? I have had men tell me not to be stingy with my body when I say, I'm not really trying to do that. Do y'all understand why I say stop bashing these sisters for being cold? Y'all be tripping. I have had situations, and now, I thank God for my husband at this point in my life, because I've kind of realized some things as I reflect. Like I've had men take my hand, literally take my hand, and y'all know this, take my hand and grope and gripe, stroke on their penis with my hand. Just grab it, pick it up and put it on there. I'm like, what? How would I look if I just walked up to you and I just grabbed your hand and stuck it on my titty? How would you rationalize that? How would you assess my mental stability or my emotional stability? Or how would you think I looked at myself as a person? You would damn near think I was crazy if I did that. But men do it all the time without necessarily thinking about what they've done. One time I was in a social setting and my body was violated. I was with a friend, and her male friend that she was there with, he was, a little intoxicated. We were all feeling ourselves, dancing, having a great time. And, he was just a little free with his hands, and I was just like, dude, I had to use my strength on the brother. Come here, let me talk to you real quick. Let's go outside. We walked. I almost had him by the ear. Get your behind out here. Let's go. Because why are you touching my butt? You're here with my girlfriend. Not only is that disrespectful to me, but it's disrespectful to her. And I was just like, come on, you can't do, but he just did it so mindlessly. I thank him, that brother, because he very quickly came to out of his drunkenness, and he apologized very honestly and very sincerely, and I appreciated that. But it's just, in reflection, when you think about how easily those things happen, how you can just so easily slip your hand on a woman's ass and not think anything about it. Not even be conscious of the fact that that's a person's personal domain that they did not necessarily willingly share with you. How would you feel if a woman just came up to you one day and she just, squeezed your juices a little bit? What if she just squeezed your berries? I mean, and there was, there was really no justification for it. You would just be like, how do I take that? I don't know what to do with that. So, y'all feel like this light is just it's on my face. There we go. Woo, this light is just so, okay. But, I get very frustrated, because then when you have a man that lives that type of lifestyle where he feels that entitled to a woman's body, and I'm sure he carries on in relationships that way. Let's not pretend like you won't get into a relationship with a woman, and if she refuses to have sex with you, you're going to have an attitude. Let's not pretend like that's not you. Like, come on, you guys, there's always a something behind the ego when you're not in a healthy relationship. And I also want to be very clear that I'm not generalizing all men or all relationships this way. When I'm talking about society's issues and the woes of society, I'm not talking about those of us who know better. Of course, I'm talking about the people who have these experiences, especially those who consistently complain about them without taking any action to dissolve the problem. So I'm talking to those who just need to rationalize that. You see what I mean? So I don't want anybody to be offended or think that, I'm projecting some kind of insecurity. What I'm doing is making an observation of society and the way people are choosing to evolve in society. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I think I put blush on like one side of my face and forgot to do the other side. Can you see that? Maybe you can't. Y'all, I am rough, y'all. I'm rough. I am really not a girly girl. I am rough, y'all. Your girl needs some help sometimes. But, okay, I'm going to keep going to what I wanted to talk about because I think that it's worth saying that culture is, well, I don't want to say culture. I want to say that all of human evolution, everything that is human nature has a certain character about it, and that is it's cyclical, okay, and it's reciprocal. In order for life to be sustained on the planet, there has to be a systematic occurrence of giving and receiving, okay? On any and all levels. Please hear me when I say that. It's a universal natural law. Life has a universal duality, giving and receiving, input and output, positive and negative, up and down. It's like the law of correspondence. Do you guys know a little bit about the natural laws? The Kabbalion, Kybalion, if I'm not mistaken. Kabbalion. It talks about the principles that govern the universe. And I take special interest in that because to have that and to have a grasp of it and what it is, and to know that it is universal, meaning that it applies to you, that is it's like the closest thing you can come to when you think about a manual, a life handbook, so to speak. And I think personally that if you can get an understanding conceptually of what governs the universe systematically by natural law, which means that it is applicable to you whether you like it or not. So you might as well get used to the idea of it if it's going to be applicable to you, which means that you can do something with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Universal laws and natural laws are applicable to everyone that is on this planet. So if you're on the planet, you should be interested in the rules that govern the planet that you're on. And so when you study those, you can train yourself to have a specific type of law in your life. Natural law. You want to have everything in decency and in order. That has become and really has been a running theme in my life. And I'm a Capricorn. So I recognize that it's natural for me. It's very natural for me to be that way. But I appreciate having that navigation is what I'm going to call it. The navigation to know that whatever I do in my life, I want it to be in decency and I want it to be in order. But what I've learned and the beauty of that is that the decency and the order is determined by me. So I'm learning that there should be no resistance. Do you see what I mean? I shouldn't have to resist at all whatever it is that my life is coming to be or whatever I'm dreaming of. I shouldn't be resisting it in any way because that is how I create my reality. If I'm dreaming a certain thing and then I start resisting it, then I'm resisting myself, which means I'm not loving myself. And, oh, I had a burp. Ooh, 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 ooh. If I'm not loving myself, then that's a problem. You see what I mean? I have to be able to come to a place where my life is now reflecting what my dreams are, not just what everybody else thinks of me. And I wanted to be clear because I'll scroll past something on social media that said a different version of you exists in the minds of everybody who knows you. And to have that many different perceptions of the same thing, and to have that one thing try to please all of those perceptions, to please or to meet all of those, the expectations of all of those perceptions. For example, your boss who knows you as a professional person. Your homegirl from college, though, she knows you a little differently. You understand? So those two people, when they come, you can't please both of those two people at the same time in the same place. Yes, separately, you can separate them between time and space, and you can keep it together. The creation for time and space. But to, in your mind, try to rationalize. Let's just say your boss and your homegirl were in the same room at the same time, and they both were expecting, like your homegirl, trying to get you to turn up, and your boss is, doing whatever he's trying to do to get your attention. How are you going to meet those? How are you going to handle those two situations at the same time? Who are you at that point? You have to define who you are in all situations, because people will forever have different perceptions of you at all points in time. Every single time you come to a person and ask them, who do you think I am? How many different responses do you think you're going to get? And you walking around your life trying to please all these people? F them. I'm making an effort not to curse. I'm trying to be a lady, y'all. F them. I really want to say, but I'm just saying. F them people, man. You don't know them, and they don't know you. Really, they don't. So there comes a point where it's more of, I'm going to define myself, and the law that I create is the law that I keep. And that's how I please myself. That's how I become interested in myself. That's how I become a servant to myself instead of everyone else around me. I have so many people when I get into counseling sessions when they say, I have been focused so much on everybody else in my life, but not myself. And that is so unhealthy. That is so toxic to what nature intends. Now we have to recognize that we are star seeds, okay? Being a star seed is a very important concept to understand, because your body operates based on the science of these stars. And you know that because people can tell you a lot about yourself based on the star that you are. What star fell to the planet at the time, in the place, where you were born. Knowing that you are starseed, knowing how the stars can be interpreted, okay, that should give you a very good understanding, another rule book, so to speak, or a guide book through life that can help you to understand a lot more about who you are and how you operate as a star seed, because your character is the same character as these stars. You have the same likelihoods, the same proclivities, the same tendencies, and the same inclinations, the same patterns as these stars. You understand? And so if you start to become interested in those types of things about yourself, and you start to build up yourself, and you start to build up your knowledge of yourself, that's how you start to conceptualize, okay, I'm a starseed. Now, how do I grow? How do stars How does matter from the ether grow? Now, look at your physical body. Once it came from the, well, let me say this. Oh, goodness. This goes a little deep. Your physical body exists of the earth, but your spiritual nature exists of the ethers. And so when you chose as a separate iteration of creation, you are your own energy. You have your own energy. And there's a certain character to your particular energy. So the goal is to figure out, based on what you're made of, based on the things that are in you, the characteristics, how do you grow yourself? Now, to me, that's the puzzle of life. You have to figure these things out because when you determine who you're going to be, there are only so many different ways you can do that. So it's going to be up to you to figure out how to execute your plan of, okay, this is who I am, this is who I want to be. And so you set about your way and you go ahead and you start living life, and that's how you manifest your reality, however good or bad that may be. Some people think, oh, because I'm not living a great life, that I'm not manifesting my reality. Oh, yes, you are. Even when you're, living in hell, you're manifesting that. You're manifesting your own hell. Yes, you are. And it needs to be understood. It needs to be checked. It needs to be figured out. And that's how you do it. You use what you understand about your physical nature. You use what you understand about your environment. You use what you understand about yourself in order to grow. And one thing I want to just make the point that's the reason why it's so important for us to feed our bodies appropriately. Your body is a plant, okay? Your body is a plant. I don't know about you, but I have never seen any plant grow from like throwing dead stuff on it or like, artificial things. If you throw something artificial onto a plant, it's probably gonna die before it's gonna grow. If you throw some like plastic or something, like if you ground up, let's just say you ground up some plastic and you watered or you like threw it in there as like plant nutrition, that plant would not grow because that is not, try not to curse, that is not energy. It doesn't have anything in it for the plant to grow from. So that's how we are as physical beings and as spiritual beings. There are certain things that will simply make us grow. I've learned that what makes human beings grow is things like the truth. Okay? Yeah, your physical body will grow all day long if you start feeding it all these beautiful foods and all this stuff like that. But if you never tell yourself the truth in your mind, you may not ever even get to that point. You may not ever even make it to the point where you can start to appreciate your body on that level. A lot of people are out here struggling with weight because they're struggling with the truth. It's not about how you're eating and on a basic level, that's what it is. But at the root of it, I'm talking about your spirit. And I know because I've been there. This is me I'm talking to. I was never struggling with my weight. I was struggling with myself. Convincing myself that it was okay for me to just eat this right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? I was rationalizing the way that I was eating because, I'm out. I don't feel like cooking. And it was just that. So it got to a point where I started realizing, girl, you are not struggling with, excuse me, you're not struggling with food. You're struggling with your own discipline, with yourself. with the truth. I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm only a little thick. Got a little extra pounds, got a little extra rolls. That stuff started to be a little bit more than just a little extra. My cousin one time told me, he said, Reese, he was like, girl, he said, Reese, it's a thin line between thick and fat. And I was like, okay, duly noted. I mean, it obviously it never left my head. Those words are still ringing in my mind. But at the same time, I appreciate him for saying that because that was the truth I needed to tell myself. I needed to tell myself that truth. There is a thin line between just being thick and being fat. But honestly, thick can still be an issue if you're not healthy. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be healthy. Your body needs to be healthy. It needs to thrive off of what nature intended for it to thrive off of. It's not just about um, how tight you can get your silhouette to look or how good you can look naked. That's not it. Yeah, that's a nice perk, and we all should not be comparing ourselves in these ways as far as how healthy we are, how good we look. There are people out there who are perfectly healthy and have some extra pounds on them, and there are some people who are small and are sick as a dog, or weak as I don't know what, have no strength. But the point is that there are some of us who live in a state of toxic health. And it's not just physical, it's also mental. And that's the reason why it's manifesting in the physical, is because we are allowing ourselves to separate from the truth that we know we should be more disciplined in how we treat our bodies, and that there are changes we could make if we wanted to. But because we don't want to, then we fail to allow ourselves to accept that accountability or accept that fault for being overweight. I know some people might be like, oh, well, there are diseases and things out there. People can't really, help it if they have gained a certain amount of weight. And I understand that. I'm not ever taking away from a person's health and, maybe a situation where they might need to, be excused a little bit. But at the same time, what we're not going to do is try to pretend like, again, people can't make changes. You can make changes. And you can see how those changes are affecting your state of being. And that's not just with your health. That's with everything. You can make changes. You can make changes if you're not happy with your financial health or with your relationship health. You can make changes if you're not happy with, your mental health, or, socially, if you feel you have some things you want to overcome, if you have some things, period, that you just want to be different, you think should be different, you should allow yourself to see the truth in that and change. Sometimes it's hard to have a position like that where you feel like, some people feel like, dang, I can't change, because then that would mean that something's wrong. Oh my God, I can't. If I was to change, that would mean that everything I've done so far was not me. It wasn't real. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. And everybody want to be so real. And so they get sort of resistant to change. And it's just like, oh man, don't be so real that you can't ever step off of it. Lord have mercy. You have to be able to change. You have to be able to change. And so it's going to be, I should say, there will be a time where we are able to allow ourselves to experience the growth, just like organically, not throwing these artificial things in our lives, the fake things that don't really exist. All these artificial things that we use to sort of water our lives or water our bodies. We already know GMOs exist. We can't really do much about it, but eat it or not, because there are options. I try to stay away from it as much as I possibly can. I am a junkie for some Doritos, though. I need to stop that. I know that. I take full responsibility for eating Doritos, but I'm telling you, something about that nacho cheese. Something about the nacho cheese. I don't know. But I do appreciate the fact that I have full awareness that it's up to me to make that change. I can't blame it on Doritos for making GMOs if I'm still buying them. Plain and simple as that. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Do y'all watch? You ever seen Bruce Almighty? That's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, you guys, I want to go back to a little bit of what I was talking about before because I'm getting ready to close out. So, just to close out and to give you this final thought to entertain. Okay. With all that being said about our lives and the way we evolve in our relationships and the way we grow, please keep in mind when you interact with your brother and your sister, keep in mind that we are all here on a journey trying to figure out a huge puzzle that we don't have all the pieces to. And so the second you have the urge to bash a woman and say something negative about her, just remember to consider the fact that you may have been the person to put her in the place where she is. And consider that there is something you can do to help her be better. So instead of bashing your sister or bashing your brother, I don't want to exclude you guys because I know brothers get bashed just as much. Everybody, we should all be considering the fact that we have helpful things that we could be sharing. We have knowledge and experiences. We have all kinds of talents and all kinds of perspective, all kinds of ideas and dreams and visions that we could be sharing amongst ourselves. There's no need for us to feed off of the fear and the hatred, okay? The fear and the hatred is not of us. It's not like us. It's not for us. And I need for us to come up off of it, okay? I don't want to see our people continuously be conquered because we are continuously divided. And nobody can blame our enemy for that, okay? Nobody can blame the enemy for the division among us because we choose that. Every time you hate on your brother or sister, you chose to divide amongst yourselves. Every time you choose to isolate and shut down instead of expressing yourself and allowing yourself to be heard and allowing your righteousness to be unifying among your people. You choose division. You choose the other side. So it's not like anybody is forcing us to hate each other. It's being heavily suggested, yes. I'll give you that. It's being heavily suggested to us that we hate ourselves and hate each other. But what we have to recognize at this point is that it's not a secret that that is the intention of our enemy. That's not a secret. We know they want us to hate each other. We know they want us not to love ourselves. So are we going to continue to play into that game? Are we going to continue to do that and accept that? Much like I talked about in that post about our men accepting the propaganda and the hatred towards women. Our men accepted that and they passed it right on. And ladies, we're no different. They tell us to kick our man to the curb and be independent and take all the work on for ourselves like stupid dummies. We did it. Because it was being heavily suggested. It wasn't just a nudge. Okay? This is mind control games that they're playing. Heavy suggestions. Coming from all directions like the Truman Show. And we were subject to it and we still are. But what I know now is that we have things like this. We have the ability to share. We have the ability to connect. And we have the ability to unify.
And we need to be doing that, okay? Because this is the time. We don't have too much time to be sitting around looking stupid with our thumbs up our behinds. We need to be gathering ourselves together with these connections that we're able to make. The internet is a blanket of connectivity that we can be using in order to unify and gather ourselves and connect and solidify. Do you understand? Solidarity. Solidarity is about being solid. What is the one thing that you can use to be solid in your community? Solid? The internet. Technology is not new. Our ancestors used technology since the beginning of time. Where do you think Caucasians came from? Technology. We are the masters of technology. We know these things. We know this. We use technology for our missions. We use technology to further along the process of human evolution. That's what Caucasians are doing right now. We can do the same thing, okay? If we use the internet and use our ideas and use our innovation, everything that we do that we've been to, industrialism happens because of us. Remember that. You are the industry, okay? You are the energy that propels the energy, or the industry, excuse me. You are the energy that propels the industry. And you should always remember that, even on an individual level. If every individual person sat down at their desk, or maybe just laid in the bed in the morning and didn't budge and didn't do nothing for a whole week, giving no energy towards no corporation, no entity besides themselves, stayed inside their houses, didn't do nothing, none of this stuff would exist anymore by the end of the week. None of it. By the end of the week. And I'm trying to tell you, because you are the power of the establishment. And they know that. That's why they try to keep you happy all the time, giving you government programs, giving you shiny, flashy cars, giving you all the music you want, all the candy, all the drugs you want, all the drama you want on TV, everything you can think of, everything you can suck up. They give it to you to silence you, because what are you doing? You're exchanging your soul in exchange for all of that, your energy, the thing that keeps you alive, your soul, your core force. That's who you are. And every single time you go to work, what are you doing? You're exchanging it. You're selling your soul for the check. You get the wage. You get a wage. And they determine what your soul is worth. They tell you how much you get to go home with and take care of your family with, and how much your life will be valued as a result of you having given over your energy in exchange for what they have deemed you to be worth. Uh-oh. Lord. You see what happens when you get a little... Done got a little happy over here. Let's not... Okay. Done got a little happy. Oh, please. This thing like to act a fool on me sometimes. Which let me know that it's time for me to go. You guys, this has been real. I'm not about to fight with this thing here. I can't do it. I won't do it. But what I will say is I want us to be very mindful of how we move forward in our thoughts. And, in our lives, period, in the next few months, in the next few whatever. A lot of people I know don't think very far ahead of time in their lives. I've asked people plenty of times, how far ahead in your life do you think? I'm at least 5 years. Right now, I'm at 3 years. I'm looking 3 years into the future right now. This is what I'm planning for and looking for. But what I would like for you to do is be very mindful about what you want to create in your life in the future, not just in the next month or so, what you're trying to accomplish with this next move. No, I want you to be thinking about way down the road. I want you to be thinking about 5 years from now. What kind of person are you going to be? What kind of aura do you want to have? What kind of respect do you want to attain or earn from people? What kind of position do you want to have in society in 5 years? Do you understand? This is the type of way you formulate the dream and how you manifest your vision. What kind of money do you want to have in your pocket? What kind of spirituality do you want to achieve? Are you trying to be able to levitate in a couple of years? What is it going to take for you to discipline yourself and your mind and your body to be able to do that? I want you to start setting your visions. I want you to start thinking. I want you to start dreaming. And I want you to start conceptualizing who that person is. Because in 5 years, whether you plan for it or not, that person is coming. Unless you die, that person in 5 years is coming. Okay? In 5 years, if you don't plan for who that person is going to be, if you don't mold that person out of the dirt, in 5 years, guess what? In 5 years, you're still going to become something, whether that be nothing at all or whether it be the thing that you planned for. So get it right. Go into your spaces and really think about what it is that's going to make you happy. What's going to settle your soul? What's going to make you feel accomplished? What's going to make you feel like you helped someone? What's going to make you feel like you lived your dream? What's going to make you feel like you did something of value? That you established something, that you created a foundation for something, that you built on something. You know, you need to have that kind of satisfaction in life. You need to have that kind of achievement. Because if you die without any of that to leave behind, then you lived for nothing. Your energy was here, it made small little ripples, and it died out. That's a tragedy. Don't allow yourself to be that small because you had that small of a mind, okay? These are some thoughts that I'd like you to entertain, you guys. My name is Reese Roberts, and I would like for you to join me the next time, okay? Because I'm very excited to be here and to be doing this with you. I want you guys to give me some of your talk topics. I like to do videos for the things that you want to talk about, because a lot of times I have plenty to say about it. So if you'll do me the favor and keep me talking, um, give me some things. Now, what I will commit to doing is, doing my due diligence of having things for you to engage and trying to keep you in a place where you can relate to this content. So there are some things that I'm going to share that may be sort of high level and very, deep, but I trust that you guys can go there with me because I know what kind of audience I have and I know what you guys can grasp. So I don't mind taking you there in some of what I envision and with, some of where I want to take you guys down this road and this path of spirituality and what I'm experiencing as I learn and as I grow on this, journey of learning. And I'm telling you, I'm doing a lot of learning. So I'm going to do my best to share whatever it is I'm learning with you and the projects that I work on. So again, even though, gosh, I said I'm going to close out. Guys, go to my website. Let me just say that. Go to the website, www.reeseroberts.com. You can book sessions with me if you need to talk to me about something. I do counseling by request. I've never thought of myself as a counselor, and I never advertised or promoted myself as a counselor before, but people started to reach out to me just because they know I can meet them on that level. And so me as a natural healer, like emotional healer, energy healer, so to speak, they trust me with that part of their lives. So if you are one of those people and you have something you want to talk about, please do me the favor of going to my website and clicking on the tab that says book a session. You can talk to me for 30 minutes for $20. And if you need to have like ongoing counseling services where we really sit down and work out things that are deeply rooted, things like insecurity, things like lack of trust, things like let's say, mother father issues, let's say relationship issues. You can talk to me about those things and see if we can work those things out. I've done marriage counseling, I've done individual counseling, I've even counseled men. I'm open to counseling your teenagers. So go to my website and just poke around. There's a few other things on there that you can benefit from, like a curated list of videos that's there to help you expand your consciousness and your awareness about reality, this environment, your personal internal environment, and things of that nature. And there's also a list of free book downloads that you can get from the
the website. If you become a member now, you have to become a member on the website. If you click on the tab, you'll see it. It says become a member, and I'll send you a link that you can sign in so that you can get to the curated videos and the downloads. So all I need is your name and your email for that. So give me that information, and I'm going to get you guys on this journey now. There's a guy on there on my curated list who has like I think the video is like 8 hours long. You guys, I'm trying to tell you, it's nothing but good knowledge and good truth that's going to blow your mind. And I'm telling you, when I listened to it, a lot of the information, I was spellbound by it. I mean, when I first got into my spirituality very solidly, knowing that I was not ascribing to religion any longer, I mean, the information that I started to dig into was it hypnotized me, and I couldn't stop learning. I watched spirit science quite a bit. Um, and I listened to like Abraham Hicks, and I listened to other teachers like Phil Valentine and like Bobby Hemmett and like Dr. Francis Cress Wessling and like Dr. Joy DeGruy, Dr. What's my name, Sister Myra, and what's my man's name, Dr. Taj Tariq Bey, and I'm listening to these people and I'm learning under them, and I'm really having these experiences. And I know I left some of my master teachers out, but because there are quite a few of them. But when you start to get to this place where you just need to know the truth is the only thing that matters, then you'll start to have an understanding of how this website has come together. So you can go on there, download those books. You can get that truth, that knowledge, watch that 8 hour video. Break it up, okay? But just get the content and get the understanding, and just understand that it's there for you to regain your identity of yourself and the love of yourself and the knowledge of yourself. You understand? So, you guys, I love y'all so much. This is Entertainment Thought. I am Reese Roberts. Go to the website, again, www.reeseroberts.com, and let me know how much you love me. Oh, my telephone number is 770-629-3341. This is my business number, you guys. This is my business number. This is my business number. Do not call my business number with personal requests, okay? If you have something personal you'd like to say, please, direct it to me some other kind of way. Something else. Don't say anything personal to me on my business line, but if you have business inquiries, please contact me at 770-629-3341. It's my mama. But once, if you have any business inquiries, if you want to talk to me about one of the projects that I'm working on, if you'd like to help with one of the projects, if you'd like to get information about one of the projects, if you'd like to sign up for one of my training or workshop classes, you guys just do it on the website. Do it on the website. Yeah, do it on the website. And I will be so happy to engage with you whenever. So this has been real. This has been exciting. I can't wait to do it again. And I'm gonna see y'all later. I said I wasn't gonna mess with this thing. I'm gonna have to fix it or tighten it some kind of way. But in the meantime, you guys, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was trying to say peace. Peace. My computer be so tripping. excited to be here with you and to just share. Oh my goodness, I think my light might be a little too bright. I feel like my skin is. I'm gonna turn this light down just a little bit because your girl is glowing.